Hello guys, welcome back to another Conan build video. It's been a little bit since I've done the last one, because I know the last one we did was a cathedral, but something exciting actually happened recently. So Conan Exiles just came out with the Age of Heroes update, and this adds a whole slew of things, and in the bazaar, they actually have what is called the Argossean Observatory build kit. And it looks pretty awesome, not gonna lie. And I've been testing it a little bit here, so we actually have spiral stairs for the Argossean. And I hope that they continue to add more of these as time goes on, but these roof pieces are really cool because you get the skylight pieces and also these rounded pieces too, like more dome-like, which I think is really cool. So in today's build, we are going to be building something similar to an observatory, but just going to be messing around with it, just to see what I can do with it. So let's go ahead and get started then, shall we? So we're gonna go into first person mode because it's the best way for me to build, I think, and for you guys to see what I'm doing. So we have the regular Argossean pieces, and we're just gonna be building strictly out of Argossean. Nothing else, just Argossean. The decoration part, probably not really so much Argossean, just for the lighting part. I'm probably not going to be furnishing it, but I do want to at least build something to make it look more observatory-esque. So I kind of have a picture in my mind of how I want to do this. And if you want to know where I am right now, actually, I am in the line between GH and 10. So GH10, there's like this cliffside, which is one of my go-to building spots here, just because I really like the outlook that you get from this cliffside, and I also think this is a good place to build an observatory. If that camp wasn't over there, I would totally build it there, but unfortunately I can't. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting down the foundations, and one way that I want to do this, and I don't want it to bring it too close to the edge because I plan to have kind of a balcony overlooking the area, so I want it to be back just a smidge, so something like this. Yeah, something like that. And then we're going to go between our wedge foundations and our square foundations to make a circle, or what is close to a circle, what you could consider to be a circle, really. So we're just going to take these and go all the way around. And you can make the circle bigger if you want, but I think this is a decent size just to walk around in for, like, observatory purposes, or observing purposes, I should say, rather. So we have something like this, and then what I want to do is I want to go, and some of these bits might not be actually connected to the ground completely, so we want to be sure to put them underneath so that way it doesn't look like it's floating. So then the next thing I want to do is find out where maybe the center bits are. So like on these sides, I want to extend this out by a couple, and then I want to build another circle. And we're gonna, oops, not do that. Make sure that it's also a circle. And this is going to be a little bit taller because the ground is much lower on this side. So we're going to want to bring it down by 2, or bring it up by 2, however you want to look at it, so that way it meets with the ground. And we're just going to go all the way around. Just like that. And then we'll do the same thing on the inside, just like so. And we have something like this. So pretty much 2 circles, but we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side too. So bring those together. Now, this being much higher, there might be a chance where the ground might seep through, but I don't think that's going to be the case because we built it high enough for that not to happen. Yeah, so you want to make sure with your height, you just hold shift and then move your mouse scroll wheel up and down like this, and it raises it and lowers the foundation, which makes things very easy. And if you want a high foundation, you could just make it maximum, or if you want to, you could just stack multiple foundations on top of each other. So we have something like this. We have 3 circles, just like this. And now, this isn't just going to be, you know, the entrance here, and then you have the rooms on the side. No, that's too plain. Too plain for me, to be honest. So we're going to, you know, make it look a little nicer, I think. These bits here are going to stay the same, but I do want the front to at least be a little different. So kind of like a more grander entrance. So I want to make sure, I don't know where that went. Make sure that these are in the ground. It's not cooperating with me properly, but that's okay. Not really concerned about that right now. But I do want to bring this together so we have something like this. And then obviously maybe bring these out. Oop. Oh, that's good. Actually want that there. This needs support underneath, like that. And then, yeah, we'll keep it like that. That looks fine, the way it is. Yeah. Alright, so. Let's get to actually building, well, before I actually get ahead of myself. There's actually these foundations too, the Observatory Mosaic Foundation, which looks good, but well, I mean, unless you look really close at it, from a distance, it does not really look that detailed. And I'd rather use the ceilings for them, for the, like, at the top instead of the floor. I prefer these kinds of foundations over the other ones. Yeah, it just looks better in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and do what I usually do, and go over all these foundations with fence foundations instead. And the reason I do this is because these regular foundations take a lot of rendering power. And I know that they've updated the game in the past where the rendering power for these foundations have been adjusted slightly, but still to the point where obviously the regular foundations still take a little bit more. I don't know by how much, but at least a little bit more to render than the fence foundations. So I'm pretty much masking over these regular foundations with the fence foundations. And what I'm going to do after that is it pretty much creates an outline of what we just built. And then I'm going to take that, everything on the inside, and just remove it. And then replace it with ceilings. But obviously, there's not going to be much support underneath, so we're going to be adding pillars to that as well. Just that way there is enough support there, despite there not being anything, like, everything covering the whole space like these foundations do, pretty much. So I definitely want to make sure that we have the proper support, because we're going to be building up higher and not just one floor, because with an observatory we wanted to make it look fancy and everything. So yeah, I don't know where that went. I need this to be, do you not want to go underneath that? I guess not. Oh, that's weird. Why does it look like that? Oh, that's weird. Oh, wait, I know why it looks... Well. Okay, never mind. I'm being silly. There we go. Like that. That. Can I put this... Put that there. And... We might have to come back to that later. Maybe. Potentially later. Not really sure. But I just want to make sure that all these are properly aligned and that there's no floating bits anywhere. Okay. So now that that's done, like I said, we're going to go in and just carefully remove everything. Because since I'm in creative mode, it just takes one click for it to go away, for things to disappear. And I can't really do an undo. I have to pretty much build it all again if I accidentally remove a piece that I did not mean to. So, I love this creative mode, and I love the hammer. Like, ever since they added this, it's just been so... Building has been so much easier, because I remember in the past... I used to play this on console in the past, and I know that back then, at least on console through my experiences, is, oh, that looks like cat ears. Look at that. Oh my god. You know, that kind of looks like a bat. I'm not gonna lie. That looks pretty cool, though. Anyway, but I know back on console that I would have to use... It would be... There wouldn't be a search bar, and I'd literally have to scroll through all of everything. Like, literally everything in order for me to find what I'm looking for. And I think, like, PC was obviously different as it has a search bar. So it just made things so much easier to search around for things, especially because PC has just that quality of life there, you know. I don't know if console has that ability right now to have a search bar or not. I'm not really sure. I haven't played the console version in a long time, in years, pretty much. So I can't really say anything about it. But if you guys, if you do play Conan Exiles and you are on console, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Alright, so as you can see, I'm going around here, and I'm just filling in all the spaces here, just like I did with the regular foundations, but this will take less rendering power. And really, like with the PC that I have, I mean, it's not really a concern, even if I'm building with regular foundations. It's just that if you're building along with me in this, I definitely want to be sure to save you some rendering power, especially on console, because I know console has a lot of those kinds of limitations, and it just, you know, wouldn't be good to have a build where it takes so much rendering power. And that's why, I mean, I try my best not to build as big, because I used to build like huge things that would take hours and hours to build, but like as I've grown more akin to building and I've gotten practice in with it, it's been so much better. Okay, so for the ceilings, for going back through the ceilings, I want to actually use the Argossean Observatory Mosaic wedges and this regular square ceilings, because this is the part where we're going to be building the balcony, and this will be a good indicator of like where the balcony begins and ends, pretty much. So it just makes it a little easier for me to figure out. And this is going to wrap around, not all the way around, but it's going to have a stopping point, and I want to figure out exactly where I want that stopping point to be. And I think something like this, and then it could probably end right there, and then we could do the same thing on this side as well. Just make sure that we have... I'm gonna get confused because it's a new set, and I'm trying to figure out where everything is. So something like this, but we're not going to keep it floating. We're going to go back around and use these fence foundations to pretty much put this all together. And this is fine with this part here, where it's going down, and I think it just looks nicer when it's more naturally attached to the ground, or like a cliffside or something that we're on right now. Just because it's like built into the earth. It just looks nice like that. That's like if you see houses or any buildings that are on a hill, you could see like how the foundation of it is longer on one side than the other to keep it as a straight, as a pretty much right side up structure. So, you know. And it's okay, like this shows that it doesn't have any support, but it will once I actually put this in the ground like that. And I'm glad that it's allowing me to do this anyway. So there we go. Something like that. And then what we could do is we can go around, which these, I love these so much. These are like my new favorite fences, the observatory fence. And oh my God, like look how they mesh together too in the corners. Like I love it so much. Like I could use this for so many of my builds. Oh my goodness. You could pretty much make like a manor with like a really fancy balcony with these fences. Like it just, oh my gosh. I mean, look at that. That looks so pretty. All right. Enough reminiscing. All right, the next thing we're going to do is actually build up the walls, and the windows in this look really nice too. So there's the window base, window middle, and the window cap. Now, if I put all three of these together, it's going to look something like this, where there's a really tall window. Now, I might want to do something like that, but only for the middle part, because I want the middle to be the tallest, just because it's like, you know, center of attention, pretty much. So, you know, and I'm kind of thinking I might want to bring this balcony out just a little bit more, so it's not like you walk out and it's like immediately right here, like a little bit more walking room. So I'm gonna remove these real quick and just do something like this and then go back around. And again, these are gonna have to be, this might look actually pretty awkward the way that I'm building this, because this is gonna have to go all the way down there, and I may not want to do that. I'm gonna check to see if this works or not, and if it looks good to me, I'll cut back, but I'm gonna cut this part out, so I'll be back in a second. Okay. Actually, I think this looks pretty good. Yeah. The only problem that I have is the fact that down here, I can't continue it to where it'll actually want to connect here. It's like at a stopping point, but that's the least of my concern. I mean, it's not like it's floating, like it's still kind of connected to this little bit here, so it's just a little bit of an annoyance that I can't really bring it down all the way, but it's not the end of the world, honestly. But this looks so much better because there's so much room in the front here, and the shape is a little bit more like a wider, rounder placement of the balcony. Anyway, so we haven't even gotten to actually building up the walls yet, so so focused on actually building the bottom. So for these side rooms, I'm gonna just take a lot of these windows and just have them go around. And there's gonna be doors that come out through here too. And these ones I'm gonna use the small, like, doorways. We're not gonna put doors in them. They're gonna be open-faced. It's just the rest of this is going to have windows around it. Not all the way around, but at least to where, yeah, something like this, where there's two here, two there, and I might leave a wall on this and then continue around this way as well. So especially when facing the front of the building, yeah, looks good like that. Yeah, something like this, and then we'll do the same thing for the other side too. I just want to make sure that it's even with the rest of the building, so it just doesn't look awkward, you know. So yeah, 3, 3, 3. I gotta make sure that oh, I can't do 3 there. I can't do 3 there because there's gonna be a doorway there. But it could be 2, 3, then 3. Then same thing here, 2, 3, then 3. So something like that. Just to give a buffer in between, because I don't want the whole thing to be just all window. But at least on sides where you can see from both the front and the back. Just that way you get a nice view of pretty much like just about a 360-degree view of everything. And we are using the regular Argossean walls just because, you know, that there's no like specific mosaic walls that they have for this for the build kit, but that's okay. I mean, it's good regardless, so. And then we're just going to use these regular Argossean walls as we build around. And kind of give it an example of how it's going to look on one side, and it's pretty much going to be mirrored. So on the right side, nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same height, same roof design, etc., etc. So, something's shooting me? I heard an arrow being shot. That was weird. So I'm going to stop on that side and just finish this side off here, or at least get to the same point with this side as well. So I'm just gonna take these regular walls and just fill in the gaps here. Sometimes they do not want to cooperate and face the opposite direction, which you'll find, I found that the roofing part can be a little tricky too. So we'll just have to deal with it when we get to that point. So the doors, the front door, part of me was thinking, well, you know, I could put it in the middle, kind of like the middle entrance, but I was also thinking like, well, not really. Because I'm thinking, what if we just put them on the side like this, so we have technically two entrances, like this? And I love the way that these are, because they have the statues in them. Really, really beautiful. And then the middle part actually has the windows themselves. It's like here, 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 and then, yeah, all the way throughout this. So it looks like that. And for the middle part of the building, I don't know if I want to keep it the same height as the dome, or if I want to keep it the same height as the side rooms, and then the dome part, the middle area is like the tallest bit through here. So I'll probably change this as we go along, but I'm gonna keep it like this for now. That looks really nice, though. I really like it. Okay, so for the actual dome part, or the biggest part of the observatory, is we're gonna obviously put these windows around here, just like so. And from this side, no, I'm gonna keep that as a regular wall, so that way it separates both the rooms from, like, the side rooms and the middle room. Then this one is where we're actually going to use the middle window, and then finish it off with the cap. Just like that. And this door right here, double height arch wall, I love it. Looks really nice. And it gives that grandeur kind of sense, like this is the focus of attention right here. This is what you should be looking at. Really like it. Alright, so after that's done, I definitely want to put in the doorways, which the arch wall here, and I'm going to double them up. So we have one here and then one on this side. And make sure that they're facing the correct way. Make sure that they're, like, the outer faces are facing each other in these middle parts here. And always make sure that the walls that you put in, the outer part is facing outside. That's the way that I always do them, and it always depends because they don't really have like an inside wall where both sides are the same from the inside, so you kind of have to choose between, like, do I want to see the outside facing wall or do I want to see the inside facing wall? It just all depends on like the rooms you set up and everything like that, so yeah, sometimes it could be a little tricky like that, but oh well. Alright, anyway, so yeah, we have the middle part here completed. At least built up to the point where you see it's rounded. So I want to put in the roof now, or at least parts of it. So this mosaic ceiling, I'm going to match the shape to the floor. So the square goes above where the square is, and you just want to do it around like this. Now, technically, I could do it where it's the opposite, but I'd rather just keep it matching. Oops, that is not what I wanted to use. We're using mosaic wedges and regular squares this time. So something like this. Yeah, that looks good. Now you actually get to see the roof bit that we're going to be using. So every bit where there's a triangle, we're going to be putting, or a wedge, we're going to be putting these observatory wedge sloped roofs. And these look really cool. I just like how they curve around like they do. It's really, really neat. And then this part here, we're gonna connect it like this. I wish that this was more flush with this roof piece here. That's probably the best we're gonna be doing. Yeah, unfortunately, unless I wanted to do something like this, where it's a roof cap instead, which that might look better, so that way it doesn't see like there's not a gap, an open gap for the roof, for one side of the roof when the other one actually connects to a wall. So I think that's the best case scenario for that. Okay, and then we're gonna take our regular sloped roofs and we're gonna go around where the squares are, because these match up with the squares, and you can see how much wider they are compared to the wedged ones. And then we're going to take our regular Argossean walls and make sure the outside is facing away from you. And we're going to go around just like this. Sorry about that. Alright, and then we're going to go and do the same thing on this side with the right side. Or I guess if you're facing this way, left side. So let me do that real quick. Okay, so both sides are now equal to each other. And now you're probably wondering, okay, so what are we going to do for the second level? So for the second level, we're going to do the same thing here, except I'm not going to use the base or the window caps. I'm going to use the middle window, and we're going to go all the way around, just like so, for both sides. Oops. Make sure the outer face is facing outside or away from you. Then we're going to go around with these sloped roof pieces, and we're going to finish it off. And, oh my gosh, can this? There we go. And I'm going to leave this open face, because I want to make sure that when you're inside, you look up and there's more, like, natural lighting coming in. So we have something that looks like this. And, I mean, really, you could also do something where you put the sloped roofs on top like this, where it looks more like that, which looks good, but I like the window bit. I like the window idea, in my opinion. Just because, obviously, adding more natural light in, but also I just think making it taller makes it a little bit nicer. Like, it just looks more shapely, you know? Reminds me of, like, a library, because this, instead of an observatory, this could be like a library or something. Just really depends, honestly. And I've also went ahead and put in the ceiling pieces for the middle part. It's just we need to go around with some of our walls here and make sure that they are connected up correctly as well. So we could have something like this. And I'm not going to use the sloped roofs here because it'll look awkward when placing the sloping walls, just because it just wouldn't make sense. So I'm going to use the corner roof pieces here that connect with the regular sloped roof pieces like that. Now, for the inside parts here, this does make more sense because we don't want to keep that gap in here. I might need to remove this first in order for it to work, possibly, if it'll cooperate with me, because I know sometimes these can be a little tricky, and I don't know why they want to be like that. So you might need to bear with me for a second, or I'll just cut out to the part where I actually get it. So give me a second. Okay. So I couldn't really get them to work for some odd reason. I don't understand why they wouldn't want to connect the way that they would. So I had to use regular walls here, and I'll just make up for it by... we'll do something fancy with this, I think. This front entrance is going to be kind of small, I think. But I am going to match the doorways with the doorways that go into the middle. So we're going to have them face like this, and we're gonna have the outer part of these walls face towards us as you walk in. So yeah, this is gonna be a small entryway, but that's okay. That's fine. It's the best thing I could do for this kind of scenario. So yeah, unfortunately. But it's okay. Like I said, it works. As long as we can get it to work, it's fine. So these, there's not a specific roof for these, so we're going to have to be a little more creative with them. And I'm going to take these sloped roofs and just match them up with this. Take our regular sloped, or that's not going to work. Take this and then use our inverted wedge sloped roofs to connect these together like so, but we are going to need a ceiling for this. We're going to need at least a few of these for that to connect, because it needs a base to connect to, just like that. And then these right here, these can connect with some fences to make it look like this. That's not bad. Not too bad. I might want to revisit it and maybe make it taller, but we'll see what that looks like later on. So we need to focus on the actual middle bit now, and just like everything else, we're going to do the same thing with the other circular portions and just go around like so. Nothing's really changing with this bit here. It's just the only difference is just this part right here that's different, but that should be fine. We'll be fine with that. Because part of me was thinking I could just put fences around here as well. And this could be like a faux doorway that leads to like a front balcony or like a roof balcony or something, where it looks more like this. And then obviously we have our walls here that connect up like so, and then finish off the roof the way that it's meant to be, which I think would be cool. So we just put the windows in like before, and this time I'm going to use the base and the cap. Since it is 3 tall, I'm going to make this 2 tall here. Kind of like cutting it in half, so like 2 tall, then 1 tall, 3 tall, then 2 tall. That's not really cutting it in half, but that's like the closest I can get to it. So, I mean, it works. Whatever works, you know? And this is going to have the rooftop end, like so. And then obviously have these walls connect up like that. That looks really cool, I think. I think that looks pretty cool. And then obviously, finish off the top, like so. This. Just like that. Yeah. And this part we could leave open, but honestly, I'm actually going to close it up. This part is just going to be closed up because I feel like with how big... I need to get outside. With how big the middle circle is, there's enough natural lighting coming in anyway. Yeah, definitely. Alright. So, now the last parts are obviously making sure that the front has a way to get down. That looks so good. I'm just gonna say right now, that looks really good. But we'll go on a tour here after we actually finish this part. So we need to make kind of like a front porch to get down, because I don't want to just put stairs like directly here and then just go down like that. I want to actually make a nice place for us to get down from. So we're gonna start with these wedge pieces and just kind of match the shape as we go around, like so. Although sometimes this won't work the way that it's intended to, or the way that you want it to go, so we have to do something like this. So then, Part of me was also wanting to add something here too. So I'm gonna take wedge piece, and we're gonna go... Might be best to start off like this, and then just kind of try to match, which it probably won't. So we're gonna have to do something else with that. Because part of me was thinking, if I go backwards like this, and then I put stairs here, and then I put another ceiling down here, it's not going to work the way that I would want it to, so. I think having it like this, and then the stairs actually meet either right here, or like in the middle like this. Like that. Would be nice to have. And I think... Oops. Oops a daisy. I think this way is much better. Yeah, and make sure that they are actually going into the ground and not being kind of silly. And then obviously, like we did with the balcony back there, we are going to cover these with fence foundations. And I'm actually going to bring this out a little bit more too, because I might want to put something there. Because the last thing we're going to do around here after we finish building the entrance is obviously putting lights in. Make sure that all this is connected up, like so, to the best of our ability, obviously. You could tell that it doesn't really have that much support underneath. But we have this, and then we'll replace the stairs. Like so, and you can actually see how it has more support now. And then these parts here, which I don't think I can actually do something about that, unless I can put a ceiling here. And then I can put the sloping pieces down. Like so, and then we do the same thing on this side. And then pretty much mimic both sides of this. And obviously put a regular wall down. Like so. And we may need to put one here too, as it's obviously lower. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that looks good. And then finish it off with these beautiful, beautiful fences. Just like that. Oh, that looks... Oh, that's so nice. I love that. That looks so good, actually. Alright. So, let's look at some decorations here. I want to see some statues. Statues. That's too big. That's too big, too. Something that's not getting in the way of, you know... It's not getting in the way of the windows. Put something like this here, and then we do that there. Yeah, that looks good. And honestly, I'm thinking just putting a brazier. Like, yeah, something like this. It is Aquilonian, but that looks good nonetheless. And then Aquilonian hanging lamps. Oh, these hanging lamps are gonna go in different places for sure. One there, and these might have different hanging lamps. Yeah, they might have wall braziers instead, which would match more with what's going on. Which, Terranium brazier, yeah, we'll go with these. And hang them above the doorways. Like so, which they're bright enough to light up this entire space. I mean, it's not a large space, it's pretty small, so. I could put the hanging lamp right in the middle there. Yeah, that looks good. On the top of these roof bits. And then I can also do the same in the middle of this top part here, since it is pretty high up and there's no light coming from there. Yep, see, you'll have plenty of lights. Plenty of light. And just in case, I'm going to put these hanging braziers here too, like so. Just like that. And I may want to put one... Can I put... That's not going to work. I might need like little, like tiny braziers or something. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do, but that works. Yeah, like something like a light there. I'm so glad I can actually put these. Oh, come on. Yeah, like that, and then one in the middle. As middle as I can get it. Like that. Oh, that looks so cute. I was just say cool and cute at the same time. Cute. Pretty cute. And then obviously we want some braziers scattered throughout these bits here, which, oh, I could put statues here too if I want. Let's do that. What kind of statue do I want to put here? That's too, I want to put those down, but those are too big. I can't do that. Too big. It doesn't really match with the theme, but I just wanted to see what that looks like. These statues aren't bad. Maybe not that one, though. Maybe something like those? Maybe. Or I could just add these again. Just put them where the circle is, like that. Oops. Making them face the right way, of course. Yeah, like that, and then... Yeah, that's probably just gonna be the best idea. Not too big, not too small. Perfect. That looks good. Wall decor... Probably like something like these, you know? Bird insignia, serpent. Let's go with the... Is there like... Devolved goblin, harpy, bat, bird. We'll go with the wolf insignia, because why not? I usually put these on the inside, but the outside would be nice to put them. Yeah, look at that. Let me put one here as well. And then one right here too. Yeah. Oh, that looks good. That looks really nice. And I can't really... I could fit one on both of those sides, but... Oh, I could put it up here. Yeah. Just like that. That looks nice. That's not even. There we go. Alright, let's take a tour on the inside, shall we? So, as we're just walking up here, let me... Oop. There we go. Do that. Get rid of my HUD. Alright. Walk in here. I might need to turn down my brightness, because that is really bright. That's not working either. That's fine. This is fine. Anyway, I mean, look at this. This is really, really pretty. I love the underneath of these ceilings. Like, you have the stars and like what looks like the sun. So beautiful. Yep, and you get to look out onto the small forest below, and then the aqueduct, and pretty much all of the highlands from up here. Quite a large balcony, and you can just walk around and go into the other rooms here too, if you want. Obviously, these aren't going to be something for, like, maybe putting crafting tables down. I mean, you could put a few in here, but this is more of like observation, obviously, or just something fancy. I mean, like I said, you could probably build a mansion out of this with these large windows and everything. Honestly, that could probably be our next build. But it definitely might take longer than this one, but this turned out really, really well, I think. And I want to definitely hear your guys' opinion on this. I think we did really well with this, for sure. Definitely let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this build, and definitely let me know what you want me to see me build next, with maybe with this kind of material or just in general. But yeah, this turned out so well. I mean, I love it so much. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that. And don't forget to hit subscribe as well, because that lets me know that you guys enjoy the content on the channel and would like to see more. I've been Savvy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. See you later.